Good morning, students. How are you? I hope you are well. I am also well by the grace of Almighty Allah. Thanks a lot to Almighty Allah that He keeps us safe and sound from COVID-19 coronavirus. However, dear students, welcome to my online class. Students, I am Sazed Bhuiya, assistant teacher in English, Islam High School, Dhaka. Dear learners, I am going to discuss from English first paper for class 10. Dear learners, text below and try to gaze which countries these facts. Learners, facts carefully and try to guess. These facts belong to Bangladesh. Well done. Dear learners, here are another flags. Say which countries these flags? Oh, yes, these flags belong to. First one belongs to Bhutan, and the second one belongs to Sri Lanka. Very good. Dear learners, here are another flags. Flags. Yes, flags. One belongs to Nepal, and the second one belongs to Maldives. Very good. Okay, learners, read the flags carefully and try to say which country belongs to these flags. Oh, yes, these flags belong to India. Very good. So, dear learners, for your gaze and imagination, today our topic is Unity in Diversity, Unit 6, Lesson 4. Learning outcomes. Lesson, the students will be able to describe and understand the text, meaning from the text, best answers from the alternatives, fill in the gaps, and finally ask answer questions. Learners, as some keywords. New word diversity means the state of diverse. Here another new word bound means of an object rebound from a surface. Another new word invasion means an instance of invading a country or region with an armed force. Coincide means same time. Another new word disintegration means process of losing cohesion or strength. word restore means a difference or contrast between similar things or people. Another new word, dialect, a particular form of a language which is peculiar to a specific region or social group. Dear learners, let us know the summary of the text. India is our closest neighbor. It is the seventh largest country in the world. It is bounded by Indian Ocean on the south, the Arabian Sea on the west, and the Bay of Bengal on the east. It is bordered by Pakistan to the west, China, Nepal, and Bhutan to the north, and Bangladesh to the east. Learners, image is its around 1.5 billion. India is the world's second most populous country. China, about 13 million people live in New Delhi, the capital city of India. Dear learners, image history. Indian history begins with the birth of Indus Valley civilization and the coming of the Aryans. In this period, Aryan culture flourished in the world. In 5th century, India was unified under Ashoka. Dear learners, images indicates region. During the during the reign or rule of Ashoka, Buddhism spread in many parts of Asia. In the 18th century, in the 8th century, Islam came to India for the first time, and by the 11th century, it has firmly established itself. Dear learners, the images its different rule and century. In 17th century, the Europeans came to India. Among them, the English, the French, the Dutch, the Portuguese were vying with each other to control India. Finally, the English emerged as the victors. In 1876, they came under the British rule and they ruled for nearly 200 years. A series of movements, India restored its independence in 1947. Dear learners, there is cultural diversity. There is amazing cultural diversity throughout the country. The south, north, and northeast have their own distinct cultures. There is hardly any culture in the world that is as varied and unique as India. There are 17 major languages and 844 dialects of India. Dear learners, the pictures indicate tourist spots. There is a tourist delight. The Taj Mahal, Fatehpur Sikri, the Qutub Minar, and the Red Fort are a few of the many wonders that attract the world the country of mountains, valleys, deserts, rivers, and lakes, business of a mini world within a single country. Dear learners, after the summary, let us go through the passages. Dear students, Unit 6, Lesson 4, and try to read the text. Here I am reading the text. Listen to me carefully, and I think it will be helpful for you to understand the text. And it will be also helpful to answer different types of questions. I am reading the text. India is our closest neighbor. It is the largest South Asian countries. In fact, India is the 7th largest country in the world with an area of 32 lakh 78,590 square kilometers. It is bounded by the Indian Ocean on the south, the Arabian Sea on the west, and the Bay of Bengal on the east. It is bordered by Pakistan to the west, China, Nepal, and Bhutan to the north, Bangladesh and Myanmar to the east. India is the world's second most populous country. China, its population is around 1.5 billion. New Delhi is the capital of India, and about 13 million people live in the city. India is a land of ancient civilization. The social, economic, and cultural diversity of this vast country is the result of invasions by different races, the process of history. Indian history begins with the birth of the Indus Valley civilization and the coming of the Aryans. In this period, Aryan culture flourished in this part of the world. The 5th century saw the unification of India under Ashoka, and it is in his time that Buddhism spread in many parts of Asia. In the 8th century, Islam came to India for the first time, and by the 11th century, it had firmly established itself. In 1206, Aibak founded the Delhi Sultanate. This was finally succeeded by the Mughal Empire in 1526, under which India once again achieved a large measure of political unity. It was in the 17th century that the Europeans came to India. This coincided with the disintegration of the Mughal Empire, paving the way for supremacy of the English. Hence, thus, who were vying with each other to gain control of India. The English emerged as the victors. In 1774, Warren Hastings was appointed the first Governor General of India by the East India Company. In 1876, Bhuiya was given the title Empress of India by the British, and India came under the British rule. The British ruled India for nearly 200 years. This period was marked by Indians' struggle for independence. through a series of heroic and patriotic movements to restore freedom, India got its independence in 1947. The culture of India is one of the oldest and the most unique in the world. There is amazing cultural diversity throughout the country. The South, North, and Northeast have their own distinct cultures. Almost every state has carved out its cultural distinction. There is hardly any culture in the world that is as varied and unique as India. There are 17 major languages, 844 dialects used by the people of India. India is a tourist's delight. The Taj Mahal, Fatehpur Sikri, the Qutub Minar, and the Red Fort are a few of the many wonders that attract people from all over the world. Kashmir has been described as a paradise on earth, the country of mountains, valleys, deserts, and lakes, offer the richness of a mini world within a single country. The Nilgiri Mountains, hill stations like Uti and Darjeeling, and the temples of South India, Ajanta and Ellora caves, places one can explore in India. Dear learners, next I am going to evaluate you through group work. Learners, belong to group A, you have to choose the best answers, alternatives. Question is, A dash people live in India. Option 1 about 1.15 billion. Option 2 about 1.5 billion. Option 3 about 1.25 billion. Option 4 about 1.52 billion. Question number B, the British rule ended in dash. Option 1, 1947. Option 2, 1948. Option 3, 1957. Option 4, 1977. Question C, the Indian people use dash in languages. Option 1, 10. Option 2, 15. Option 3, 17. Option 4, 25. Question number D, the Indian people use dash dialects. Option 1, 854. Option 2, 744. Option 3, 864. Option 4, 844. Question number E, the Europeans came to India in the dash century. Option 1, 16th. Option 2, 17th. Option 3, 19th. Option 4, 80th. Dear learners, A, check your answers. The possible answer is question number A for 1.5 billion. Question number B for 1947. Question number C for 317. Question number D for 844. Question number E for 217th. Learners, come to group B. You have to fill in the gaps with appropriate words. And the question is, here is a gap number A dash delight. The Taj Mahal Gap number B dash Sikri, the Qutub Minar and the Red Gap C dash are a few of the many Gap D dash which attract people from all Gap E dash the world. Learners belong to group B, secure answers. Here the possible answer is A for tourists, Gap B for Fatehpur, Gap C for fort, Gap D for wonders, Gap E for over. Learners belong to group C. You have to notice the points and try to answer the questions. First, you have to follow the points carefully, then you have to answer the questions basing on the points. There are 29 provinces in India. There are 17 major languages and 844 dialects. About 1.5 billion people live in India. India is the second most after China. India got its freedom in 1947. India is the largest democratic country of the world. People from all classes, religions, and caste live together. Dear learners, questions and you have to answer them. Question number 1, how many provinces are there in India? There are 29 provinces in India. Very good. Question number 2, how many people are there in India? About 1.5 billion people live in India. Well done. When did India get freedom? India got its freedom in 1947. Very good. Dear learners, there are another questions. 4. What type of country is India? India is the largest country. Very good. Question number 5. How many major languages are there in India? Oh yes, there are 17 major languages in India. Well done. Dear students, evaluation. Now I am going to give you homework. So please be ready with your writing materials. Write down the following questions and try to answer them properly. Here, question number 1, what do you know about the population of India? Question number 2, how many years did the British rule India? Question number 3, when did Buddhism spread in India? Question number 4, what happened to India when the Europeans came to India? Question number 5, what are some of the tourist attractions in India? Dear students, thank you very much for joining with me. I will take up any other class on any other day. Till then, stay home and stay safe from COVID-19 coronavirus. Dear students, this is all for today. See you next time. Allah Hafiz.